Alright, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Testing. Testing. Going silent there for a moment. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, I'm an idiot. I have to test again. I wasn't checking the actual audio level. Testing 1 2. Testing. Negative 6.8 decibels. Testing the audio for the PC streams is a little bit harder than the console streams. Hey, Cyber Demon, good to see you again. It's been a while. I see DJs out there, and Dasan, and Red Dwarf, and Mike. Welcome back, guys. Alright, I think we are probably good. I think we're probably good. Probably, maybe, potentially. So welcome back, everyone, to another stream. This is a sort of surprise stream. I had mentioned this on Thursday's stream, where I might come back and stream on Saturday. And, yeah, so we're back on Saturday. This is Raptor, Call of the Shadows. This is a really fun vertical shoot-'em-up for MS-DOS. Came out sometime around 1994. It's got a 1994 copyright date on it. And, yeah, this is actually a game I've played a lot over the years. I really enjoyed it back in the day. But since it had been available on places like Steam and GOG, I think it's on GOG. I've been able to access the game over the years without even having to, download it separately and configure DOSBox manually. I could just play the Steam version or the GOG version. And so what we're doing right now is we're actually playing this on original hardware. This is my Windows 98 machine with the 2000 or 2001 era CPU. And some DOS games work really, really well in this setup, and Raptor is one of those games that actually works pretty much perfectly on this setup. And with the sound card I have in here, we can also use general MIDI, so the game actually sounds really awesome. Raptor's always had a really good sound package in general. The sound effects are really beefy in this game and very satisfying. It is, I guess, probably what... Well, see, I don't know. I don't want to really, like... stereotype this game, but it's not like a super fast arcade style shoot 'em up, if that makes any sense. Like, it's not like I don't know. You guys will see once we get into it. For those of you guys that haven't played this before, you'll kind of understand what I mean. Like, there's a lot going on in this game, but for one, its primary control method is the mouse. Now, you can use joysticks, you can use the keyboard, but I've always controlled this game with the mouse, and so you've got this like sort of analog style movement, which is very unique, and it also has an upgrade system and a shop system. So you earn money, you buy different weapons as you go through the game, and it's also episodic, so kind of like Doom or Wolfenstein 3D or something like that, or Blake Stone. It's got multiple episodes to play through. Each episode has 9 stages. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to go through the whole game. So it's 27 stages total. Should probably take us a few hours to go through. And I don't foresee myself having that many issues, but it can be difficult, especially in the beginning when you're not really very well upgraded. So, but yeah, it should be a fun stream. Like I said, I played this a lot back in the day. And I know a couple of you guys out there probably experienced this back then as well. And this was a very well-received, highly received, well-received Apogee published game back in the day. This was actually developed by Cygnus Studios. They did another vertical shooter on DOS before this called Galactics. And that's one I actually played a lot as a kid as well. And we'll probably end up covering that on a future DOS stream, so that should be fun. They actually renamed themselves as Mountain King Studios later on, and their website is actually still up, and you can still purchase the original versions of these games. They released another shooter called Demon Star in the late 90s. You can still buy that on their website, and then you can actually buy Galactics as well. As far as Raptor, if you do want to pick it up, if you do want to try it out, I would just get one of the ones on Steam or check GOG. I don't remember 100% if this is on GOG, but if it is, I would get it there, because then you can just, you know, it's DRM free. But yeah, really fun game. Looking forward to going through the whole thing again, and this should be a good stream. So let's go ahead and scroll through chat here real quick. Yeah, we're happy to have you, Red Dwarf, man. We don't get to see you very often, so it's good to have you doing. Carlos, welcome back, man. Carlos was about to go out for a haircut. Scratch that. I guess Carlos is gonna be scruffy for another week. thanks to my stream. Now I feel bad. Yeah, DJ, there are a lot of really great DOS games. I've been on a DOS kick recently, having an appropriate way to capture DOS games from real hardware now. I've just been on a major DOS kick. So, and let's see. Desam was eyeing a DOS laptop with all the games already on it about 6 months ago. Didn't pull the trigger in the end. For Ragnar's. Only had the shareware. Yeah, I'm okay, Red Dwarf. My stomach was actually really hurting. I don't really know. I don't think anyone really wants to hear me get into it, into why I think it's probably not feeling well, but it is feeling a little bit better now, so hopefully it remains that way, and we have a fairly smooth stream here, so... But, yeah, as usual, guys, before we kick things off, let's do the old Patreon shoutouts and whatnot. So, as usual, thanks everyone that is continuing to support my channel via places like Patreon. Much appreciated. I had a couple new backers this week, so thank you guys for that as well. Also, I'm looking to do another Q&A video, so patrons, check my Patreon posts and drop me some questions there so we can do another Q&A session. Also, thanks to everyone that's supporting the channel via things like Super Chats. We actually have been getting a lot of Super Chats these last couple weeks, so thanks a ton for that, guys. It's huge. It's huge. It really is, believe me. Also, thanks to the channel members as well. And remember, channel members, another reminder, you can use custom emotes. So if you're a channel member and you're here, use those emotes. They're fun. It's a good time. So, alright, with that, what we're going to do is actually start playing the game. So, you know, what I love about these old DOS games is that there's a lot of info in these games. So if we go to order info here, it actually gives you, it's basically like a built-in manual, and so many DOS games back in the day had things like this. And so if there's any information you want to know about the game, it tells you here. So these are money drops. It tells you their exact values and things like that. It's really good stuff. You know, and I didn't even know until reading this instruction page today, but apparently all the weapons that you have in the game are bound to the numeric keys. I didn't know that. I thought you had to just scroll through them. So that's a really neat feature as well. So yeah, lots of cool stuff here to read through. And then, yeah. And then, of course, actual order information from back in the day. Obviously, that's not going to apply these days. And you've got game credits as well. And so what we're going to do here is do new mission. And we'll do YouTube. Cool. There we go. And then we can change our ID picture, which doesn't really matter what it is. We'll go with like the Arnold ripoff. And hit enter. Hey, Solid Nate, how are you doing, man? So what we're going to do is we're going to play in the 3rd difficulty. I would like to play on the hardest, but I don't trust myself. So we're going to do the 3rd difficulty, which is what I actually played on last time. And every time you complete a level or when you start a game, you start off at your hangar. And you've got this little area over here, which is fly mission. You've got these areas up here, which is save. So that's how you save your game. And then this one down here is the supply room. And this is Harold's Death Emporium. So welcome to the one and only automated one-stop shop. All purchases will be... It canceled out on me. I don't even know what it said. So this is where you buy stuff. And so these are energy modules. They're $10,000 a piece. And they give you a little bit of health back. You get 100 hit points in the game. So we have 75 hit points to start. So I could buy one right now and get 100 hit points. I'm not going to in this first map. There's also this ion scanner. It says the scanner will search the surrounding area for engine emissions from larger craft. Once detected, it'll lock on and a damage indicator for that ship will appear. So this is basically an item that tells you the health bars for bosses. So we're going to actually go ahead and buy that to start off. Just so we know what the boss health is. These are bombs. You use the space bar to activate those bombs. You got air-to-air missiles. We're going to actually end up picking these up on the first level. So I can't buy them for one, but even if I had the money, I wouldn't want to buy them because we get them for free. This is a phase shield. This is effectively a second health bar, and you can actually buy up to 5 in your inventory. You can have up to 5 in your inventory at once, and so you can have your main health bar and then 5 additional full health bars. So these are very, very valuable. I do recommend having at least one shield on you at all times. This is a plasma cannon. It shoots out a little pea shooter plasma shot. These are bombs. This is like an explosive bomb that drops on the ground. It's just a air-to-ground weapon like this. This is an air-to-ground missile as well. So what's cool about Raptor is not only do you shoot enemies in the air and you shoot enemies on the ground like a lot of other normal shmups, but there are also lots of buildings and things like that to blow up. And blowing up buildings in this game gives you money, so it's worth trying to annihilate as much as you can and cause as much damage as you can. These are dumbfire missiles. These missiles sort of like spread out a little bit in funky directions, and they'll hit air targets and ground targets. Micro missile is kind of like a machine gun shot. Yeah, it's good. We're going to get that. Missile pod is just rapid fire missiles. Auto track minigun is basically a rapid fire machine gun that will lock onto enemies, which is actually very useful. My first goal is to try to eventually get this, because this will be very handy for a good portion of the playthrough. Power disruptor, we're actually going to end up skipping this, but this shoots out like little blue laser balls or something like that. Laser turret is like this one here, the auto track minigun, except it's lasers. Unfortunately, this doesn't shoot ground targets, so we might actually end up skipping it on the playthrough. Pulse cannon is sort of like a plasma wave shot. It's very good. And then Death Ray is a singular, very powerful laser shot. And then the last one, the twin laser, it's basically like the Death Ray, except it's 2 lasers. And that is the ultimate weapon in the game that we're going to work towards. So we'll probably end up getting this by partway through episode 3. And so yeah, that is that. Let's go ahead and save our progress again. And let's go ahead and fly the mission. Mike says, what's the difference between Patreon and Super Chat? So Patreon is a site that you can sign up for, and you can pledge a certain amount of money per month to whatever creator you want. Well, it depends on the terms on the creator's site, but for me, it's you pledge a minimum of $1, and you get charged $1 or more, whatever you pledge per month. And then what happens is I post content to Patreon early. So basically, you can support the channel through Patreon, And you know, you basically are doing direct support, direct donations through Patreon, and then sort of in return, you get content early. I keep the ads off the content that gets posted early, and then you can participate in the Q&A sessions. And the Q&A sessions eventually become public on YouTube, but the patrons are the ones that are able to ask the questions. So you know, there are things like that with Patreon. So it's a good setup for people that want to support channels directly, and yeah, just want to pitch in. So hey Optimus, welcome back, man. Have I thought about doing any point-and-click adventure games? Yeah, not really, because the point-and-clicks are usually pretty long, unfortunately, so it's not really good for this stream. Although I could do some blind streams in the future where I just fire up some point-and-click I've never played before, and then and just have at it. But I don't know, it's kind of low on the priority list, but you know, I'm not completely against the idea. But yeah, shorter games, for Let's Plays in particular, I definitely focus on short games. I find myself having a hard time talking for more than a half an hour at a time, which is why doing like shorter NES games and things like that, Genesis games, Super Nintendo, has been good for my Let's Plays. Longer stuff I generally try to save for the live streams. But even then, I generally prefer to be playing, you know, action games and things like that. Something that's, like, moderately fast-paced. So here we are in our first level, and we're going to be taking things relatively safe here. I mean, the level's not very hard, but we don't have any upgrades at the moment. It's just our basic machine gun, and that is it. So, you know, I want to kill as much as I can, but I also don't want to risk taking too much damage. Because, yeah, this is all I've got. I don't have a shield, although we probably will get some health back. And here we go, we got our first power-up, the air-to-air missiles. So these are fairly powerful for the first episode. They're not very good on later episodes, but for this first episode, they're very good to have. And you get them for free, so you don't have to buy them. But one thing that is kind of cool about this game is you can actually sell anything in your inventory. You can sell health, you can sell your main machine gun if you really wanted to. There's no point in doing it, but you can if you want to. The game actually allows you to, which is kind of cool. And so, you know, one thing I do later on in the game is if I'm trying to buy, like, a really expensive weapon, I'll sell some weapons that I know I'm probably not going to use. Now, there is a mechanic in this game where, when your health gets down to a certain threshold, you lose whatever weapon you've currently got equipped. So these missiles, if my health bar went too low, I would lose this weapon. Your ship basically takes too much damage, and whatever weapon you're using gets annihilated. So that is a risk you run into by selling weapons, because when you lose the current weapon you're using, and you don't have a backup, you're screwed. You know, you're just left with your machine gun, and that's it. But I don't really worry about that too much, because if my health gets that low, I'm probably going to end up dying anyway. And when you die, you have to reload your last saved game. So as long as you're saving after every level, you just end up playing the level over again and trying again. So while you do run the risk of, you know, losing your current weapon that's equipped, I don't worry about it too much, even if I only have one current weapon, and that's all. So the bosses in this game are actually really simplistic. It's this concept for the entire game. That's probably one of my major complaints with this game, is the boss fights are just fairly generic. Now, don't get me wrong, they do get tough, but it's the exact same sort of thing for you know, all 27 stages. Alright, let's see what kind of money we've got. We got 64,000. And I don't really think I need anything else right now. Let's see what we've got here. What are our choices? Yeah, we don't have enough money to buy anything worthwhile at the moment. So, not even going to worry about buying a health refill because there's probably going to be a health refill in the level itself. Dasan says it's all flooding back. He used to play on Rookie. I have not played Gabriel Knight or Day of the Tentacle, no. I wanted to play Day of the Tentacle back in the day, but I never got my hands on a copy. I haven't played a lot of point-and-click adventure games, but I have played a few. I've played Sam & Max Hit the Road. That was really fun. And I played Torrance Passage a lot back in the day, which is a Sierra one. We also had one called Woodruff and the Schnibble, which was also another Sierra one from the mid-90s. And then I played some first-person point-and-click adventures, like a little bit of Myst, 7th Guest, 11th Hour, stuff like that. But yeah, it's not a genre I've played a lot of. I'm familiar with a lot of the games in the genre, but I haven't actually played many of the games in the genre. So one thing that's kind of nice is that you can sort of tell where enemies are coming from based on their shadows. So I'm always looking for their shadows and then just moving to where the shadow is. So these little yellow icons here, they give you a little bit of money. It's not a lot, but you know, you might as well pick them up if you can. Especially in the early parts of the game where money is a little more scarce. Hey, Mark, how are you doing, man? So how many of you guys out there have played this game before? I mean, whether it's been a long time or not, I'm just kind of curious how many people are new to this and how many people are not. What I really love about Raptor is that it's the kind of game I just zone out to. It's actually, you know, it can be a little stressful to play, but for the most part, like, I can sort of coast through it. And it's just enjoyable, you know? It's a game I like to play through probably once every few years. Alright, boss time. There we go. Good first two levels. Hey, Branch. Branch played it many years ago. Hey, Carl. Welcome back. Totally new game to you. Never heard of it before. Cybert even played it for the first time a few months ago. Hell yeah. Carlos has never played it. Mark would like to get around to playing Rex Nebular sometime this year. What is that, Mark? Alright, so we got wow, we got 174 already, huh? Man, so you know what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna risk it and try to save the money for this. So I think we might actually be able to get through another level. We're gonna try it anyway. We will go ahead and buy max health, just in case. Let's go ahead and save it. So you can play any episode you want in any order, but I do not recommend doing that. Just play the game in order. The game has a very smooth ramp up in difficulty, so episode 3 is way harder than episode 1. And enemies do more damage, they take more damage. So your early game weapons are really not capable of destroying like episode 3 enemies effectively. So just play episode 1 first, go through the whole game, you know, episode by episode. So after you beat an episode in this game, all your money and your weapons carry over to the next. You don't start fresh like Doom or something like that. So as you play the game, you also start to pick up on, you know, prioritizing certain enemies over others. And we just got air-to-ground missiles. So you can actually select those when you're trying to destroy ground objects, and you'll destroy the ground objects a lot faster. So since I only have 2 missiles right now, or 2 main sub-weapons, all I have to do is just click the right mouse button once to switch, and then click it again to switch back. So it's pretty easy to get the hang of. Now, once you've got a lot of different like weapons in your inventory, it's a little bit harder to scroll through them. So at that point, it's good to try to use your numeric pad, or your numeric keys, and you can just select the weapon that you want. I don't have that memorized. I don't usually play like that, but according to the options, that is a legitimate way to play, which is very cool. So I don't foresee us having, like, any major issues going through the game, because I did actually beat this over the last couple of days. We actually started a game, I think, last week, and I played through the first few levels. And then I picked it back up this Thursday after my YouTube stream, and then we played through episode 2. And then today, I went through episode 3. I wanted to make sure I was familiar with the whole game before doing a YouTube stream. But I didn't have really many issues with episode 3 because I was maxed out on firepower, so. And then you've got so much money on episode 3 that you can just buy a bunch of extra shields and bombs, which makes life, you know, super easy. I mean, you can still die quickly if you're not careful. You know, enemies always do a lot of damage in this game. But if you're playing careful, you should be able to get through the game without any trouble once you've got your inventory beefed up. There we go. Hey, Raymond and Krusty. Welcome back, guys. Cyberdemon says the GOG version is what was played. Cool. So it is on GOG. I thought it was. I couldn't remember. Yeah, GOG is probably the best way to go. I mean, it is DRM free, standalone. And what's really awesome about the GOG versions is you can take them and use them on old computers. And actually, I think I actually did just that. No, I didn't do it for Raptor, but I did do it for a bunch of other games the other day. The GOG versions, they have modern, updated executables that basically use DOSBox, and it's compatible with modern hardware. But the original, source files are still there from back in the day, and you can take them and run them on old hardware, which is awesome. Desan says, did your GOG version come with the mouse control working? You seem to remember having to do a fix to get it to work when you downloaded it. No, the mouse should work with Raptor. Am I going to play any of the Need for Speed games on my Windows 98 rig? I would like to. I only have Need for Speed 2 Special Edition. And I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, I agree. I do the same thing. I prefer GOG for DOS stuff, you know, over Steam. Steam will usually just package it with, you know, in a basic DOSBox setup, and that is it. Which is fine for most people. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of these air-to-ground missiles. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. It actually really doesn't matter. So let's go to buy. So what I wanted to do is get this auto turret. Yes. So this will make life a good bit easier. So go ahead and save it. Hey, Explosive Notes, how's it going? Alright, so it looks like nothing's happening, but look at that! We've got a machine gun that just locks right on the enemies. It's not super powerful, but it does enough damage to where it's very handy. And the nice thing about it is that it actually hits ground targets. So I don't need air-to-ground missiles. So in the next level, I think I'm going to try to buy the micro missiles if I have enough money. Otherwise, I'll get, like, the plasma shot or something like that. So there are two types of weapons in this game. You have weapons that are always activated. So, like, your machine gun right here is always activated. Then you have weapons that are selectable. And so the auto-target machine gun I'm using is selectable. So I can stop using it and switch to a different weapon. But ideally, you want to upgrade the ones that are always active. Because they're going to stack with each other. But I knew having this auto-target machine gun would help a lot. Because I have to think a little bit less when I'm playing. And you can play a little bit safer and still do damage. So most weapons in this game only shoot straight forward. And a lot of enemies also shoot straight forward. So it's not a good combination. But with this this lock-on machine gun, I can just sit at the side, do damage, and not worry about being in the enemy's line of sight. Earlier today, I actually beat the final boss in the game by just sitting on the side with this this machine gun. It was very weak, and it took forever, but you're not timed in this game. You don't get any bonus points for beating the levels fast or anything like that. So, You know, you can just use whatever strategy you want to get through it. There is a little bit of flexibility in the game, which is cool. Yeah, you do want to try to kill as much as you can, though, because it gives you more money. The more you kill, the more money you get. So, like, right here, I can just sit behind this guy and do damage. I'm not doing much damage, but I don't even have to worry about being in his line of sight. See? Just like that. Alright, so we've got $200,000. We're actually being pretty efficient with this so far, which is nice. So let's see, micro missiles. Where are the micro missiles at? Yeah, 175. I want that because the micro missiles are like, it's like another rapid fire machine gun shot. And let me see if I can sell my missiles here. I'm going to actually sell this bomb, because I don't really need it, and I'm going to sell that, and I don't have enough money. Let's see what we've got. How much is it? The plasma shot. 78. I have 93 in the health. Alright, let's save it right now. And then I'm going to risk this. I'm going to sell 1, 2. That's actually really risky, but the reason I saved before this was if I die, we can just reload our game and just do it again without wasting that health. But this will make me extra offensive, so we'll try it. You cannot buy new aircraft in this game. You just buy new weapons and other upgrades. Yeah, so you can see the micro missiles. It's like another machine gun stacked on your regular machine gun. And in the first episode, it's actually a really solid weapon upgrade. It does decent damage. And we've also got that little rinky-dink plasma shot as well, which doesn't do a lot of damage, but you know, all those things combined adds up to decent damage. And I'm going to be trying to just focus on the game when I'm in the actual levels themselves. So if you guys if you have any questions or anything like that, I'll take a look at them after the levels. This game has a lot going on, and I find that whenever I take my eyes off the screen, I start running into stuff. And you really don't want to do that in this game. I mean, obviously you don't want to do that in shoot-em-ups in general. And there was a health refill, so that's good. But in this game, there's more punishment for it, because if you die, you end up having to do the whole level over again. And the levels can, you know, they can drag on a little bit, especially as you get farther into the game. They'll have mini-bosses and just more dangerous enemies. So, as to not do that too often, to not die too often, hopefully, I'm not going to be looking at chat for the most part while I'm in the game itself. In the levels themselves. Yeah, this is actually a really good choice, doing this upgrade path, even sacrificing some health, because I'm just wrecking these enemies. So it was a worthwhile sacrifice. Sometimes you sacrifice weapons and and health to buy another weapon, and it's just not worth it. You find that you're too underpowered. But this was good. And there's a bomb. So I had sold my bomb, but now we got it back for free. So that was another good a good sell-off choice. Alright, boss time. He's ground-based. And there we go. Have I ever played Typing of the Dead? I have, yeah. That's a fun game. Society just ate a mayonnaise sandwich. You should be good for 3 days now. Oh, Dasan fell asleep during the Skyroad stream. That's funny, man. That game ended up being a lot harder than I remembered. At the beginning of the playthrough, I was like, oh yeah, we should be able to get through this and quickly, and then we'll play the other ones. And we didn't even get to play the other ones because it took me 4 hours to get to the end of the first one. And I had to give up. I was like, I've had enough. Alright, so I've been doing pretty well without a shield, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep winging it without a shield. Because by not having a shield, that means I'm saving a lot of money every level. So I can try to get upgraded here. And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to stick with this auto-track minigun. And I'd rather upgrade to something like the pulse cannon or the death ray immediately, but these are expensive. That's the thing. Like, it goes 725,000, 950,000, 1.7 million dollars. It gets pretty expensive. It went in subliminally. Through the headphones, hell yeah. You know, Skyroad is a really fun game, but man, it gets a lot harder at the end than I remembered. I was really struggling with some of the jumps on the last 2 levels. And I know it's not an input lag issue because I've got a VGA splitter, amplified splitter, that is sending a VGA signal directly into one of my computer monitors here. So it's like I'm bypassing like any sort of capture card pass-through or anything like that. Not that my capture card has pass-through anyway. With the card I have to use for MS-DOS stuff doesn't have pass-through. At least not on my model. But, you know, so I can't blame any sort of upscaling or you know, signal conversion or anything like that. But I was still struggling with getting the jumps. I was like, there's got to be something wrong here. But no, it's just me, and the timing is that tight in the game. Way, way harder than I remembered. Like, I remember struggling with those last courses back in the day, but not to the extent that we did on that stream. Yeah, these guys do a lot of damage, too. So stay out of their way. Here's another bomb. Alright, so mini boss this time. Here we go. Not bad. Hey, Josh, welcome back. I mean, I'm thinking if I do this right, I might be able to carry this weapon combination all the way to the end of this episode. And just save all my money. Or save most of it. There's yet another bomb. So I've got 3 bombs now. And if I can save those bombs, that's money. Remember, you can sell anything you have. I always try to make it a point to destroy as much as I can, because the buildings are actually worth decent money. Even things like bridges, you know, you might as well get rid of them. It's decent cash. I really love the graphics in this game too. Like if you look at the water, you know, it sparkles and shimmers a little bit. I really love this mid-90s era of MS-DOS games. Very colorful games. There we go. Maximum money. Joshua Alfonso, welcome. Hey, thanks for that, Red Dwarf. Hey, yo, bro, smash that like button! Like, no. I can't do that. That's like selling my soul, talking like that. I do appreciate everyone that does hit that like button, though. I almost feel like, now I've talked about it a couple streams now, but I've significantly pulled back on the amount I, like, you know, do, like, in-stream ads and stuff like that on YouTube, so I almost feel like YouTube might be punishing me for it and not recommending my channel as much. So the interactions probably help me even more now. YouTube says it doesn't rank people based on whether they're monetized or not, or whether they're serving ads or not, but a lot of people think like they probably do, actually, because their goal is to make money, and they don't make much money if videos don't have ads on them. So, or if one video has more ads than another video, the one with more ads is probably going to end up making more money. So, yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. Like I said, I'm just going to try to bank what I've got. Let's go ahead and save it. What was my favorite 90s action game? I don't think I can name one in particular. I've played so many, Josh. Well, I mean, I guess I could. I mean, Doom. I think Doom would be a no-brainer if I really had to just pick one. But picking anything outside of Doom as the favorite would be next to impossible, because there's so many. So many I've played. So many I've played, so many I've enjoyed. So that sort of thing, I like to sort of separate picks by genres. And if I can say pick 10 favorite 90s action games based on genre, then I can start dishing out answers. So like side-scrolling platformers would be Super Castlevania 4. Shoot 'em ups would be Radiant Silvergun. You know, things like that. RPGs, JRPGs would probably be Final Fantasy VI. Action RPGs would either be Diablo or Secret of Mana. Racing games would be F-Zero X. Real-time strategy games would be StarCraft. I mean, these aren't really action games now, but Yeah, no, I've played so many games over the course of my life that I can't just I usually can't just pick one on a question like that. I've gotta expand that question a little bit. Otherwise, I feel like I'm not giving like a worthwhile answer. I'm not doing that question justice. Might be easier for someone that hasn't played as many games. But, when you got the experience I do, it, becomes difficult to answer questions like that. Yeah, these ground turrets can be a little tricky, and you also gotta watch out for these guys that drop these air mines. Alright, more money. Also, I'd have to go even more fine-tuned on that question now I think about it. So like side-scrolling platformers, I'd have to divide those up into like hop and bop platformers like Mario versus side-scrolling platformers like Castlevania focused strictly on action. So like a hop and bop platformer for me, my favorite would be Mario World. You know, talking strictly 90s. I mean, even in general, Mario World is probably my favorite, period. And then you have, you know, say like run and guns. Run and guns would probably be like, I don't know, maybe Metal Slug 2. Maybe Contra Hardcore. Oh yeah, we're getting that was close to death. Look at my health bar on the right. Does he run 4 ads per 10-minute video? Yeah, that's it's a trend that I'm seeing a lot on YouTube. You know, I've got multiple YouTube channels, and I only have one channel that is using the YouTube Premium, which basically gets YouTube ad-free, and that's my main gameplay and talk channel. But I do browse around YouTube and watch videos from other channels to see what, like, the ad trends are and things like that. And, yeah, there are a lot of videos I've seen, like 10, 15-minute videos, and they'll crank like 3 or 4 ads, like video ads in those videos. I'm like, geez, man. I had someone complain on an hour-long video that I had too many mid-roll ads, and it was like 1 ad every 20 minutes. It was like 5 ads, yeah. And you look at the video and you see a lot of yellow bars, and you're like, oh god, there's a lot of ads. But then you gotta think, wait, it's an hour-long video. Is that really a lot of ads? Every 20 minutes doesn't seem that bad to me, but you know, I do still take complaints like that to heart, and complaints like that is actually one reason why I've stripped out a lot of my mid-roll ads. You know, I still have some. You know, I do still want to get some revenue from my videos, obviously, you know, with the amount of time I put into my channel, but I also don't want it to like hinder the viewing experience. Like, so I've gotten rid of ads at the beginning of videos, or pre-roll ads is what they call them. So video ads. So whenever you click on a Let's Play now, there shouldn't be an ad going into it. You should be able to get right into the video and watch for 15 or 20 minutes, and then probably an ad will kick in. Unless you've got YouTube Premium, or if you're using ad blocker. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. Like, I could... Yeah, see, I really don't know what I want to do. Like, do I want to try to upgrade to the laser, the homing laser? Or do I want to do... Because the laser turret is like the auto-track minigun that I've got. But it is a lot more powerful, but it only does air to air. It doesn't do air to ground. You know, I think what I'm gonna do is try to go through this next level without another upgrade. Pear, this is the original game. Yeah, it's the original. And, the updated version available, like the 2014, 2015 version or whatever, it's not really a remake. It's just a repackaged version by .mu. It's probably using DOSBox on the back end, and it's got some graphic filter options and higher resolutions, which are options you can generally configure anyway in DOSBox if you get nitty-gritty with it. So it's not really like updated. Yeah, no, this is the actual original MS-DOS version. We are running it in Windows 98. So just for those of you guys that are curious. So I'll actually quit out here so you guys can see. So yeah, no, this is the actual, you know, the actual version. So Windows 95 and 98 are, you know, are good for DOS games. So there's my desktop. And for anyone curious, those are the settings. For those of you guys on mobile, you're not going to really be able to read that. But Athlon XP 3000 plus, 512 megs of RAM. But yeah. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to actually reboot the computer. Well, now you guys get to see the fun in running these games on old hardware. Let's go ahead and reboot. that actually happened when I started the stream, and I was like, that's not supposed to happen. So we're gonna go ahead and just reboot, so you guys can see the reboot process now. It is the real deal. That's right. And I'm able to capture this with a DataPath E1S capture card. Otherwise, I would never be able to do this. It's just, yeah, this capture card has been amazing. Hey, Liberal Arts Guy, welcome back. Yeah, and Krusty, I definitely agree. Yeah, gaming hasn't advanced as much in the 2000s as it did in the 90s. The jump to 2D to 3D was crazy. And then the rapid growth of early 3D to early 2000s 3D was very, very fast as well. All right, let's try this again. All I wanted to do is just demonstrate that I'm on, you know, I'm running Raptor. There's some sort of conflict that's happening, like this game might be latching on to sound drivers and not letting them go. I don't know how I would describe it, but and then it causes some kind of conflict. I'll go ahead and let this roll out again for those of you guys that just stopped in. Nice, Gravis ultrasound. Hell yeah, man. Alright. So you can also do shortcuts on the main menu. So I just pressed N for new mission, L for load mission. You know, G for game options. It's pretty cool. And we'll go ahead and just fly the mission. Oh! Wrong mission. I forgot I've got two characters on here. There we go. I picked the wrong one. I just showed you the dual laser. Yeah, well, and you know what's funny about VR design is that VR has actually been around for a very long time. VR is not new technology. It's just, in terms of it being something that consumers can buy affordably, it's just now becoming, you know, more common. Yeah, I mean, there were VR headsets you could play around with in the 90s. Especially in, like, arcades. VR is awesome, by the way. It's really, really, really cool. I love it. Definitely gonna be messing around more with that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do any video content of it. Because for one, I don't think anyone cares. But two, I think it's just more trouble than it's worth when it comes to actually like recording stuff. VR is one of those things that has to be experienced to be understood. It's difficult to just watch like a flat YouTube video and get it and like understand it. It doesn't really work that way. I did stream some VR on Twitch this week, and I was going back and looking at the archive. I was like, man, this just isn't convincing at all. Like like the way like the camera just bounces around, it doesn't really convey what I'm actually seeing with how smooth I'm seeing it and things like that. Of course, what also doesn't help is that the VR headsets run at like, I think the Oculus Rift runs at something like 90 hertz. And when I'm streaming on Twitch, it's just 60 hertz. So you're losing a lot of like the fluidity. That's a major loss right there. But then what I also found is that when I'm looking straight ahead in my headset, it doesn't look like I'm looking straight ahead on the stream. It looks like I'm looking down at all times. It's really weird. But yeah, experiencing VR at first hand though is awesome. It's amazing. I can't wait for that tech to evolve further. You know, higher resolution displays and things like that. Yeah, so far this playthrough is going pretty smooth. We've got 5 bombs in stock as well. I should... If I run into trouble here, I can use them. Nice. Hey, Andrew Haxley. Do I like Quake 1 better? I have no idea. Whoa. Better than what, Andrew? Better than Doom? No. I mean, Quake 1 multiplayer is a lot better than Doom multiplayer, but Quake 1 single player is not better than Doom single player. So, I mean, to that, I would basically, you know, say it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to play multiplayer, Quake wins hands down. It's way more involved, way more in-depth. Way more, well, I don't want to say way more technical. Doom does have some technicalities to it. Some tricks. But I mean, for me, it's almost impossible to beat Doom's, Doom single player. I mean, especially if you're downloading custom WADs that have been made in this day and age. There are just so many awesome maps you can get. We're gonna try to do another Doom stream sometime soon. I haven't done one in a little while. So we got the pulse cannon here, and man, I just we're doing pretty well with the minigun. So I feel like I should just continue to try to run with it. Oh, speaking of Virtual Boy, I'm gonna download a, you can get a Virtual Boy emulator that works with VR headsets. That's, arguably the best way to play Virtual Boy. I just wish there was an easy, like, Virtual Boy to PC adapter. Ooh, shots fired, Cyberdemon. Doom 64 is better than Quake. You guys know I have a chip on my shoulder when it comes to Doom 64. But yeah, I mean, Quake 1 is still... I mean, Doom aside, Quake is my favorite first-person shooter of all time. You know, it goes Doom, then Quake. So it's not like... When I say, like, Doom single-player is way better than Quake, it's not like I'm saying it in a way that I'm indicating, oh god, Quake isn't good. Like, no, I think Quake is amazing still. But I think to get the most out of Quake, especially the single-player, is you have to be really good at the game. You know, for one, you need to know the enemy layouts like the back of your hand. You need to know more advanced tricks like rocket jumping. You know, you really need to know the game, and you learn that by getting good at the multiplayer. So when you take your multiplayer skills to the single player becomes a lot of fun. But a lot of people don't experience Quake in that way, and it's kind of a shame. I don't blame them. But I love the Quake single player because of getting good at the multiplayer. And one thing that's really fun about Quake is that a lot of the levels were designed around the quad damage. So when you know the level progression, you know the best times and places to use the quad damage and just annihilate half the enemies on the level instantly. So many levels have quad damage in them for that reason, I believe. So that's a really fun mechanic as well. I really enjoy it. And I actually should have... So I'm going to actually do something here. So I know that I get another bomb there. So what I'm going to do is actually... Oh. Well, for one, I need to... Wait a second. Let's get out of here. Reload that game. Do I still have only... Yeah, okay. So if you abort the mission, it looks like you retain the health that you had. So what I'm going to do is actually sell one of these, because I know I'm going to get one in the level itself. If you weren't even that far into the level, so I could afford to just quit out like that. That's one of the other nice things about this game is you've got some of the traditional PC quality of life niceties that you might not have with like a console shoot 'em up. I mean, this is a different kind of shoot 'em up than what most people played on consoles. These types of shmups didn't usually come out on consoles. A lot of console stuff was very, very arcade oriented. Yeah, if you die a few times, you might have to get it. You might get a continue. You know, there was no save system. You don't usually have shop mechanics and things like that. Especially not to the extent that this game has them. And there's another one! Oh, I should have sold two. Alright, we're not going to quit out this time. So, ideally what you want to do is if you have 5 and you see another one, you should use one. Because you don't get any bonus points or bonus money for grabbing a 6th one. It just doesn't work like that. God, we're getting so much money. I'm doing way better this time than I was last time. So what I ended up doing last time is I kept slowly upgrading, slowly going through the weapon chain. And I'd sell off previous weapons to try to afford new ones. And you know what I realize now is I ended up just wasting a lot of money. Whereas on this playthrough, I've selected a very specific build in the beginning. And I'm just saving my money. Just saving that cash, man. There we go. Do I remember Star Fox? Of course I remember Star Fox. I have a Let's Play of the first route. I have not, Raymond, no. What does he do? Red Dwarf needs a tuna sandwich. Carlos, the thing about VR, man, is you have to try it, man. You can't say it's a gimmick if you haven't even used it. Like I said, it's one of those things that you won't ever understand until you actually use it. And it is most certainly not a gimmick when used properly. And stuff that's like first person is... man, it's so good. Yeah, Dasan actually commented on one of my videos. He was talking about his playthrough of Doom 64. And his struggles with it. Alright, so yeah, we're actually at the start of episode 2 now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep banking my money. I'm gonna see if we can actually do decently in the beginning. We might have to upgrade our guns, but we'll see. Yeah, these guys are doing... ooh, man, so much damage. Difficult to avoid. Alright, there's some health. Alright, that's money. Probably got about 40% health right now. Whew. That was actually kind of intense, because, yeah, you know, it was just kind of intense. I mean, it's still a viable strategy, just using this machine gun. He's a gaming YouTuber that focuses on FPS games. Oh, okay. Josh, we're gonna play until I beat the game, and we're about 30% through the game right now. Or 33%. So we'll probably be here for another, I'd say an hour and a half, or 2 hours. We're gonna try the next one again. Why not? I mean, I mean, the less amount of stuff I buy, the more money I save, and the sooner we can get the best weapon in the game. Like, that's my logic. I like those helicopters because they don't take many shots to kill. That's it's tough to avoid. Oh god. I'm so weak. Yeah, there are way more enemies on this episode. I like that. Yeah, like I said, it does have a smooth ramp up in difficulty. It does get harder, but it doesn't just happen, like, over the course of one level. Alright, we got 5 bombs. Alright, boss time. Yeah, those thicker shots, they're really damaging. And you do not want to touch them. Same with lasers later on in the playthrough. Lasers will just wreck your health bar. There we go. That is true, Dasan, yeah. I mean, I do that in UN Squadron. Yeah, try to play with the first plane as long as possible. I mean, the thing is, if it's possible, why not do it? Like, we're 500,000 away from the best weapon in the game. And if I wanted to, I could sell all my bombs for some cash. Yeah, so what I might actually do is, yeah, I'm gonna continue this strategy. Yeah, it's definitely a unique liberal arts guy compared to other shooters at the time. Yeah, so while I'm not usually a fan of analog-style controls in shoot-'em-ups, it just feels right for this game. Like, it feels like that's how this game was designed to be played. It actually works really well in this. Like, you can move quickly by dragging the mouse really hard, but then you can also make fine-tuned movements. Smooth, fine-tuned movements. With the with how rapidly your main shot fires, it works out very well. You can sort of track enemies as they move over to one side or the other, and just let all your shots land. It's very satisfying. Whenever I get to a boss and I have bombs, I always I always put my thumb on the space bar. Just in case. Because I have 5 bombs. You know, if things get desperate, then I can go ahead and just use them. That's what they're there for. You don't get penalized for using them. No, liberal arts guy. I'm using a mouse. Using a mouse. 142,000. Yeah, we're still not gonna have enough money. Even after selling the dumbfire missile, we're not gonna have enough money to get the best weapon. We're getting really close, though. Actually, we might if I sell this too. But I kind of want to keep this as a backup. I think it's wiser to keep that as a backup. Because there are good uses for the auto fire turret, minigun, whatever. Alright, these red choppers take a lot more hits. Ooh! Yes, we got laser guys now. He just did like almost half of my health bar. Nice, we got a shield. I haven't even bought a shield yet. We've been playing through the whole thing without one. So, yes, the left-hand side of the screen wasn't actually cropped. The left-hand side of the screen is reserved for the shield health bar. And I meant to point that out earlier. But I also expected to get a shield earlier, but I didn't. I just kept ignoring them. There's a bomb, so I'm going to go ahead and use my current bomb. Ow. 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 These damn laser guys. It hurts. Ugh. Alright, well that's bad. That is bad. We got nothing now. By the way, your bombs have to traverse to the center of the screen before they detonate. So they detonate faster when you're in the middle of the screen. Yeah, that was god-awful, man. Oh. 2 hit points left. We're gonna have to do this level over. Suck it! Hey, Block Breaker. And Kevin. Welcome back, man. I think that's our first legitimate death. Was it? Because I know I've quit levels intentionally, but I think that was our first actual, like, real death. Yeah, I know I can do that level, but I don't want to just be sitting at that, with this, upgrade set up. So let's see what we've got here. Let's get rid of those. Get rid of those. Keep that. Actually, no, I'm still not gonna have enough money for it, so I'm gonna keep it. Let's go to buy. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and do, alright, whatever. We'll try it. So the laser turret is a lot more powerful, but it doesn't hit ground targets. But I can switch between the two. So I can use the minigun to help with ground targets, use the mini laser, or the laser for air targets. Man, another bomb. Oh, there was a little dude walking on the ground and I killed him. I didn't know you could do that. I noticed that my bullets were disappearing and I was like, what are they hitting? And there was a little guy walking along the ground. It's nice to see little details like that in games of this age. Got it. Yeah, that was much easier with that laser. All right. So what kind of cash do we have? Yeah, we're not going to have enough to upgrade, so let's go ahead and just get our health back. And I don't really think... What I'm going to do is actually sell a bunch of bombs, because we keep getting bombs in the levels themselves. So I might as well bank that money. I mean, that was like over $60,000 we just got back right there. And then, I'm going to actually go ahead and sell... Oh, I can't. We already sold them. Never mind. I'm forgetting what we've already done. Kinda sad, but it has to be done. Yeah, so our goal is $1.7 million, and that'll give us the best weapon in the game. We need to obtain a small loan of $1 million. It's for a good cause, though. Death and destruction. So one thing that's kind of interesting, if you pick up a health pickup in a level itself, if your health is maxed out, it'll actually apply it to your shield. Now it doesn't apply as much to your shield, but it does actually replenish your shield just a little bit. It's a nice touch. Oh! I forgot about those lasers. See, I'm glad I've still got the minigun. Because then I can just sit at the side. Ow. Whew, we took some good damage there. Yeah, the moving bar on the bottom, it's like a large object detector or something like that. So if you go to your inventory here, it's the ion scanner. This scanner will search the surrounding area for engine emissions from larger craft. Once detected, it will lock on. Damage indicator for that ship will appear. So it's basically just a boss life indicator, that's it. Alright, so I don't want some of these. I don't want these. So I'll just take the cash back. And that's pretty much it for now. So I'm gonna try to do this shieldless. We'll see how that goes. There we go. Got a shield. Nate says he loved this game back in the day. Very cool. So I think we're a little over halfway through episode 2. And we're getting close to being able to buy the best weapon. And then from that point on, I can use whatever cash I get to just buy shields. And then we can sort of take the rest of the game in a rather lazy manner. Getting some bombs too, which is good. Yeah, look at that laser turret. There we go. Another one bites the dust. Alright, we're gonna just keep plowing along. Wave 7, yeah, we're actually getting towards the end of episode 2. There are 9 levels per episode. Thanks, Red Dwarf. Ooh, we got some dumbfire missiles. Those are worth a lot of money. They're worth a lot of cash on sellback or buyback. It's pretty much at this point in the game where enemies start dishing out some crazy damage. Did you miss anything? You missed, I have no idea. I don't know, I don't know where you bailed out. But we're towards the end of episode 2. There are only 3 episodes in the game. So we're well over halfway through the game. Oh, jeez. Those guys just slammed right into me. Not cool, not cool. Oh yeah, we're gonna be able to buy that weapon after this level too. We're almost there. Oh, that's not good. I got hit by that laser. The lasers just absolutely destroy your health bar. No! 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 Oh, I got slick. We had that. We had that. Now I've gotta do the whole level over again. Wrong load too. I gotta load the other file. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna get rid of these. I'm gonna actually get rid of that. And I'm gonna get rid of that. And that. And then we're just gonna go all out. Booyah. Actually, you know what? Let's try this again. Hey, hey, Boston Burf. The comma man. You guys are awesome. Got it. I mean, really, this is all I need. I don't need anything else. I need this. It hits ground targets. And it wrecks. And then what I'll end up doing is I'll end up buying back a couple weapons because I'll have so much money that I won't know what to do with it. Bye-bye, mini-boss. There we go. I've already Let's Played Phelios for Genesis. Yeah, so if you just search for Phelios on my channel, you will find that Let's Play. Yeah, it's a cool game. I like it. Well, it sounds like you need it, Optimus, if that's the case. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be sleeping that much. Yeah, hey, Office. Well, I mean, it could be that too. Myself, personally speaking, I've been struggling to sleep for more than 4 hours at a time, and it's kind of sucked. Like right now, my eyes are really sore. Even though I'm on my day off, I'm struggling to stay awake. But then I go and try to sleep, and then I can't sleep. I just toss and turn. So, it's, you know, it's basic insomnia. Alright, so, let's go ahead and just grab ourselves a lot of shields. You seem to have come to the limit of your finances. Cash and carry only. Thank you for choosing Harold's Death Emporium, the only shop for the discerning mercenary. So let's go ahead and get one of these again. There we go. Another shield, look at that. So we have 4 health bars, or technically 5 right now. So this is where you can start getting really sloppy with your gameplay. But I would like to buy the other weapons in the game just to show you what they're like. Ow, that hurt. So when I get to a boss, I always just sort of sit off to the side to sort of confirm what their pattern is. Because you don't want to be right in front of them when they do an insta-beam that you don't know is going to be there. So always sit to the side, wait and see what they do. And then form an attack plan. Hey, Akela, how's it going? Yeah, that is a good point. Due to the night mission and it being dark, you couldn't see their shadows. Yeah, Boston Burf, that's definitely how I've been feeling. I mean, the last couple of weeks in general, but on my days off, it seems to hit me the worst for some reason. So when I'm trying to do these streams, like I feel like I'm in zombie mode while I'm trying to do them. And I've had a lot to do this weekend in particular, which hasn't helped. You know, so it's like you're on zero, you're on like very little sleep, and you've got a lot to do, and it's just like, oh, it's awful. I don't watch sports, Gary, so no. Alright, so I've got 3 shields. And I've got a set of dumbfire missiles. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. And I don't have enough to buy anything else right now, so let's go ahead and save it and continue on. Alright, last level. Oh man, Red Dwarf. It's not that late, man. Ya old man. No, but seriously, have a good night, dude. Glad that you were able to pop in for a couple hours. So one thing that's good about doing these surprise Saturday streams at earlier times is people can tune in that normally can't tune in. Yeah, so I'm definitely being really sloppy. But, I mean, when you've got so much cash that you can just keep buying shields after every level, it's easy to get that way when you're playing this game. You just sort of coast along. Oh, there's a statue of a dude down there. That's cool. Never noticed that before. Alright, that's episode 2 knocked out. So, on to episode 3. Alright, yeah, we got $1 million. So, I'll try to nab a couple weapons I don't already have. Let's get a second shield. And then I'll get the, I'll get the pulse cannon. I'm not gonna bother with the death ray. It's basically the twin laser, but just a singular one. So it's not really worth buying. It's not worth buying when you've already got the twin laser. It's actually pretty good on its own, but I find it's better off. You're better off just going for the twin laser, because the twin laser actually kind of veers off to the side a little bit. Like it doesn't shoot directly center from your ship, so you can actually hit guys on the side of you just barely. You can't do that with the single laser shot. Yeah, so I do want that power disruptor, but I don't think I have anything I can sell that's worthwhile. Oh, I have a couple bombs I could sell. Okay, actually, we can get that now. So this weapon isn't going to be worth using, but I just want to show it off anyway. There we go, this is the power disruptor. It's probably a decent weapon in the early game, but at this point, it's not really worth using. Yeah, it doesn't hit ground targets either. And here's the other one. This is actually a good weapon. It hits ground targets. So I actually stuck with this weapon for a while on my last playthrough. Alright, back to the twin laser. It is. I really enjoy the Raptor soundtrack. It's great. Some of the tunes they literally loop like 10 seconds over and over and over again, but Like, you don't really notice it as you're playing. There's so many explosions and things like that happening in the background that just add to that, that canvas of sounds. Alright, so at this point, it's basically just buy shields and bombs. Shields and bombs. Hey, thanks, Red Dwarf. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's definitely overpriced. Yeah, that solo part is my favorite part of that tune. That's actually my favorite tune in the game. But yeah, this tune is one where it just loops the same thing over and over and over again. There's no little solo or anything like that. See, like with the twin laser here, you can bump up against objects and hit them without taking damage in return. That's where using the mouse comes in handy, because you have very precise movement with it. And you can get really close to enemies and hit them without them hitting you. It's gonna come in handy on some of the bosses on episode 3. Twin laser's too good. With how fast I'm killing those mini bosses, it just wrecks them. But I mean, for the price, it better be good, right? I mean, it's by far the most expensive weapon in the game by a long shot. There's not a single weapon over $1 million except for the twin laser. And it's almost $2 million. It's closer to $2 million than it is to $1 million. So for that price, it better be good. And it is. I don't think it's as satisfying to use as I would like, because it's just like another straight-ahead weapon. It would have been cool if it was like a spread shot or something, you know? But, it is super powerful, so it's worth it. Yeah, so now we have bosses that are made up of lots of turrets. How far are we into the game? I think we have 8 levels to go. No, 7 levels to go. Out of 27. if it blows everything on the screen away, then it's all good. And that it does. That it does. I do want to buy this laser turret again, though, because, so I'm gonna actually do that. Let's get rid of power disruptor. We'll go ahead and get rid of the pulse cannon, too. I demonstrated it. That's really all I wanted to do. So we'll get the laser turret again. I'm gonna use the laser turret on the final boss. Yeah, no problem, Michaela. Yeah, we're making good progress. Liberal Arts guy, Mortal Kombat 1 DOS. Actually, the version I have doesn't use MIDI. It's actually sampling the arcade soundtrack. It actually sounds really awesome. We're gonna do a stream sometime where we play. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna be like a DOS variety stream. But I've got MK1 on this computer. I've got MK2 and 3 on here too, but they don't work. But MK1 does, and it sounds awesome. It actually looks and plays great too. The MS-DOS version was by far the best version of MK1 on a home platform back in the day. It holds up amazingly well. You know, if you're a fan of the arcade version, it holds up great. Now, MK2, for some reason, instead of taking that sampled approach or using, like, CD audio, they went with just general, they just went with MIDI. For Mortal Kombat 2, that does not work. It does not work for MK2. It's kind of weird, because MK1 will use, like, the Sound Blaster, and it basically samples everything. Probably not using the right terminology, but it's like the actual arcade tunes being sampled. It's cool. It's not using a CD to do it either. I thought Mortal Kombat 1 on PC did have ad-lib support though, but the version I have, which is the version from GOG, when you run it on an old machine, it doesn't give you sound card options. It just auto-detects your sound. But yeah, I was really impressed by that the other day. Totally forgot how good that version of Mortal Kombat 1 was. Primal Rage on PC is another amazing example of PCs just being so much stronger than consoles at the time. That game like has a crazy amount of animation that's completely missing in all the console ports. I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat was only ever available on floppies. Mortal Kombat 1. I don't think there was ever a CD version of that. Oh, nice, Krusty. Congrats, man. I bet that's a good feeling, dude. Hell yeah. Can you still use Windows 95 or 98 online? Yeah, I mean, if you connect them to the internet, yeah. Now, whether you'll actually be able to get to the GOG site and successfully download the games. I don't know, these browsers are pretty damn old. Web standards have come a long way, so I wouldn't hold my breath. But what you do is you download them from a modern machine, burn them to a CD. Or in the case of Windows 98, there is USB support on 98 SE. And that's how I get some of my games over to it. Yeah, You and Scrawlton's great. That's one of my favorites on Super Nintendo. I'm guessing these are solar panels. We're destroying their renewable energy. We're awful people. Hey, Deadly. How are you doing tonight? Hey man, I was gonna message you on Facebook, but since you're here, I want to let you know that I applied the Power Slave dehacked patch to it, and it really, really helps that game a lot. We did that on Thursday night. Well, this boss is surprisingly easy. Alright, wave 5. 4 more after this. I will admit, trying to play this game in one sitting, trying to beat this game in one sitting, it does wear on you a little bit. So the end of episode 2 is kind of where I probably would have stopped. And then I would have come back and finished episode 3 later on. But since my goal is to do the whole game in one sitting on this stream, I've got to do the whole game in one sitting. Floppy version. Yeah, but I thought there was never a CD version of Mortal Kombat on PC. Was there a CD version? And I was just unaware of it? Maybe that's it. Maybe so. I guess the one on GOG is the CD version. Yeah, because I do remember back in the day, it using FM sound. You know, I specifically remember either Sound Blaster or Ad-Lib support. Because I had the floppy version back in the day. But with the version I got from GOG, there is no sound configuration. It just auto-detects it and it just plays. But there's no CD. So it's obviously doing some sort of sampling. The CD version is what the GOG version is based on. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense after all that you said. Alright, more turrets. That's it. You try GOG with the JavaScript off. Most of the website doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. Oh well, I mean, it's not even like later DOS games. Like Epic Pinball is a good example. It uses the same kind of yeah, the same kind of sampling to get the excellent music that it has. Jazz Jackrabbit, same way. And it seems like Mortal Kombat on CD utilizes that. And I guess maybe the only reason the floppy version doesn't have that is those sound source files are probably too large to distribute on a small amount of floppies. I love it when DOS games do that. They sound so good. It would be nice if some of these weapons would stack. So, like, the plasma cannon, if you buy a whole bunch of them, it fires, like, more rapidly. But it doesn't do that, unfortunately. I actually tested it earlier with the micro missile. And the micro missile still fired at the exact same rate. I was like, oh, damn it. Oh, wow. So I have actually bought too much stuff. I can't actually... I can't actually get anything else. That's funny. I didn't even know that was possible. God, I have something in my throat. Ugh. Man, sorry for all the coughing. That's awkward. It came out of nowhere, too. Hey, Josh. Welcome back, man. We have a few more levels to go. We're getting close to the end. Have to be careful, I'm getting low on shields. This is my last shield. Alright, boss time. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. No, I'm good. I think I'm alright. Oh, yeah, something got lodged in my throat. Something. I don't know what it was. I should probably stop biting my fingernails. No, it really came out of nowhere. I was like, ah. Ah, I'm good now. You have to play DOS games with just sound? I forget the name was. Not sure what you mean by that, liberal arts guy. You can play DOS games however you want. Some games only have PC speaker. Whether you play them not, or whether you play them or not is up to you. I probably won't stream those games because it's kind of awkward. There are some games that only have sound effects or music, not both. Kind of like in the Amiga days, in Atari ST days, there were a lot of games that did that. Some of those sort of carried over to MS-DOS games. I mean, some of those games were probably Amiga games and Atari ST games. Some of the games that do that, I mean. Yeah, I mean, most games I prefer to play, though, have music and sound effects. One of the last bosses heals when you bomb it. I didn't know that. Interesting. Why would I play games with PC speaker? I mean, I don't understand why you'd want to do that. Why would I want to play Wolfenstein 3D with PC speaker when I can play it with Sound Blaster or AdLib? I guess the answer would be no, liberal arts guy. Unless I have to, I don't. I mean, there are lots of games that don't support sound cards at all. Those are games that are usually from the 80s and very, very early 90s, like 90, 91. Most games after that supported a variety of sound cards. And that's the era of DOS gaming I definitely prefer. VGA graphics, AdLib and Sound Blaster compatibility, and greater. It's kind of funny. I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny, but... Eh? That dude, I don't even know if it's possible to kill that guy. It's a mini-boss, but he's stationary. You might have to just bomb him rapidly. That'd probably be the best way to do it. right. Yeah, so the thing about PC speaker is that it doesn't even have the personality of, what was it? Was it the TIA chip and the Atari 2600? I think that's what processed the sound on the 2600, or provided the sound. Like, even though that chip could be very grindy, it could also be very bright and have a wide range of tones. The PC speaker just does not have that. And it's also coming literally from a speaker on your PC. And it's oftentimes drowned out by, like on this system, my fans and things like that. It is, it's not good. That's definitely not good, so... If it was louder, brighter, a little more varied, like the 2600 sound chip, I actually probably wouldn't mind it for a lot of those earlier titles. But it can't even hold a candle to that, unfortunately. It's just really, really kind of awful. There are some exceptions, but I think very few. Like, Test Drive 2, the Duel, actually had some neat, like, solid melodies on the title screen theme via the PC speaker. But it is definitely not something that was done regularly. Marco's PC speaker is trash. You tell him, Mark. Yeah, so again, the whole thing is like, I don't mind how a lot of, like, you know, early industry gaming sounds, because they at least have personality to them. They're distinct. And also the game types were a lot more simplistic, very arcadey. You didn't necessarily need, say, background music in a lot of those games. Or the wide range of sound effects would sort of fill the void. Like with Demon Attack. I love how that game sounds. It's so simple, but it's so effective. But that aside, I definitely prefer my games to have, like, decent soundscapes, like constant music in the background, things like that. And DOS games with PC speaker support don't usually have that. And when they do, it's usually pretty janky. Oh, that was close. They sound just as bad as his Tiger handhelds. Oh, man. You are not wrong. You are not wrong there. Yeah, one of the only things about getting the best weapon early is that the game becomes kind of boring. Because, you've got the best weapon, there's nothing else to work towards. The progression to the best weapon in the game is part of the fun. That period of building up the you know, funds to get it. Playing well to get it. And then once you get it, you're like, oh, well, I could just, you know, I could turn on my Tesla autopilot now. just fall asleep. Hope I don't hit a pedestrian. So yeah, from this point on, it's basically, or from that point on, it's basically just coasting along. You still have to pay attention a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, you can just turn off your brain. Speaking of turning off my brain, I kept picking up bombs while being maxed out, so I just wasted those bombs. I should have used a couple. You always, if you're maxed out on bombs, you always want to use a bomb before you pick up another bomb. Otherwise, you just waste bombs. Like, let's use a bomb just because we can. Not because we should. Whenever you hear that rumbling sound, that means a boss is coming up. I think this is actually one of the bosses I used the machine gun on. The minigun. I guess it's just, it's too difficult to get in front of their shots and hit them. The twin laser doesn't Doesn't branch out to the left and right enough. There we go. Yeah, I agree, Gary. Oh, that's it. That was the last level. I shut my brain off, and I didn't even realize we were on the final stage. Well, that's it, guys. We just beat Raptor. So yeah, that's it. That is Raptor, Call of the Shadows. So what it does is it puts you right back to your supply room, and you can play the game again. It basically just starts you back off at the beginning, but it starts you off at the higher difficulty level. So we did the 3rd difficulty, so now it's the 4th difficulty. It's the last hardest mode. So there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it wasn't a super long stream. It was 3 hours sharp. But it was fun. I'm glad I was able to do this. I've wanted to cover this game on my channel for a long time, but capturing PC stuff from original hardware has always been difficult for me up until just recently with this new capture card I got. So I know I could use DOSBox and things like that, but like I like to capture stuff from the original hardware to give you guys like the sort of the proper example of like what these games are really like and what they were like back in the day, running on, you know, era appropriate hardware. GG stands for good game. Good game. And Deadly can use the GG emote, man. You can use that emote, dude. Remember, you're a channel member. You can use all those emotes. So, no, we're not doing a second loop. But if we did a new mission, you could do Elite. That's the hardest one. I kind of wanted to play that tonight, but I was like, I don't trust myself. Really don't trust myself. Oh, man. But yeah, good times. So, I've got some time to kill tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of here in a couple minutes, and I'm going to go make some food. And then I'm probably going to go over to Twitch afterwards and probably do more... I'm thinking more DOS gaming, but I'm not sure. I might switch over to a console. But I have to try to stay up all night. Because I got to go to work tomorrow night. Got to get back to my sleep schedule. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Like I said, Raptor is an awesome game. It is a little much to try to play through the whole thing in one sitting, but you know what's great about the episodic format and the fact that you can save your progress and have multiple save slots. You don't have to do the whole thing in one sitting. You can just play a couple levels here and there, and the game is really really fun for that. It's really fun when played that way. And yeah, so anyone that's interested in trying this out, like people have said, it is on GOG. It's also on Steam. And if you have original hardware like I do, you can actually take those versions and bring them over to old said hardware and run them on that as well, which is really cool. Thank you, Carlos. Hey, so Krusty and Deadly, man, thanks for the super chats, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. DOS stream for the win, and Krusty says, great stream, dude. Yeah, thank you, guys. So, yeah, I'm you know, I've got so many DOS games I want to stream, and I made a list this past week. Spent quite a bit of time going through all my games, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. To try to figure out some future DOS streams. So I'm gonna keep looking at that list, get things organized, and we'll definitely be back with some, you know, either a DOS variety stream or I'll pick out some other game I want to stream, and we'll try to go through that. But yeah, we'll see. I am going to be doing some more console stuff. I know I've been doing a lot of old PC stuff recently, but we are going to get back to console stuff. My next Let's Play is going to be posted in the morning, so it's an NES game. So, you know, we are going to be doing some more console stuff as of tomorrow, so look out for that. This archive, if you missed the stream, the archive will be up Tuesday, so watch out for that on Tuesday. And then next Thursday I'll be back with some other stream topic. I'll try to make it a console stream next Thursday. Although next Thursday is going to be a late stream for me. It's the last Thursday of the month, so I will likely be starting around 11 or 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of the usual 9 p.m. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. Anyone out there that follows me on Twitch, like Deadly, I'll be over there on Twitch probably in the next half an hour. So if you're bored, feel free to head on over there, and I'll talk to you there. And we'll keep this thing rolling. For everyone else, thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And I'm trying to think of anything else to talk about. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. But definitely recommend giving Raptor a shot if you've never played it before. And if you never played many DOS games back in the day, checking out the GOG or Steam version, it's a good way to get a taste of what DOS gaming was like back in the day. The only thing is that when you play these games on a modern system, through DOSBox or something like that, you're gonna, you know, the image is gonna be stretched out, so it's gonna be like 16 by 9. These games were meant to be played in 4x3 on 4x3 monitors, so they aren't gonna look as good as they used to for the most part. But you know, as far as like controls and sound are concerned and things like that, you can get a good idea of what these games were like back in the day. So I definitely recommend checking them out. And yeah, we'll definitely be back with some more games like these in the future. So for you guys like Raymond that, you know, aren't too familiar with these things, you guys can experience some really cool games that I grew up with and other people grew up with that maybe you haven't seen before. And that should make for interesting streams for you guys. So, but alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. So have yourselves a fantastic evening or day or wherever you are in the world. And watch out for my Let's Play tomorrow morning. And I guess until the next one, take it easy.